Hi guys, and welcome to part 4 on this Mustang respray. So you'll have to excuse the fact that this is a bit later than usual. Some of you know I'm actually working for 2 shops now, and I'm doing full-time hours at both shops. So I'm doing like 16 hours a day at the moment, so long days. And just for this first week, well, I've been getting used to it and getting used to what sort of time I've got, because obviously I've got kids as well. I've given the editing a bit of a miss, but now I've got in a bit of a routine and I can work out, keeping the channel good 2-3 videos a week as usual, and also getting a bit of experience from the other shop will help me get a bit more content for the channel as well, which is good because it's a prestige shop. So it's a completely different sort of prep level and level in every way really for what we do in this shop. So enough about that. Part 4 on this one, we're going to go through the clear on this Mustang. So if you've seen the previous ones, you know we did all the base coat, got all that put down nice, got everything sorted out, and then we decided to go for the clear over base on this, just because the customer wanted something that was nice but would last that little bit longer. So at this stage I'm still using the IWATA W400, a really favourite spray gun of mine, and although I have just bought the GTI Pro Light, I have to say for the foreseeable future this W400 will be going nowhere. I'm going to keep this for MS clear, and the Pro Light that I've just bought, I've had that in a 1.3 with a T110 air cap, which is more for the higher end jobs that we're going to be using HS clears through, because I've had a bit of a play with it now over this first week and it's such a nice spray gun to use. But we'll go a bit more into that in a minute. So we're using an MS clear for this one. We went for the Max Meyer O200, which I know on the tin it says it's a HS clear, but personally I'm sorry to Max Meyer, but I just don't think it is. I think it's just branded up that way, and I don't know why, because it sprays like an MS. Consistency and viscosity wise it feels like an MS, it dries like an MS, so you know maybe their branding department should have a look at their label on that one. But it is, for the money you can get it for about £75 a kit for a 7.5 litre kit, and it does go on really nice. As you can see on this one, it's going on really good, really wet. It gives you a really good build. I would recommend, because I did make a bit of a mistake once of not giving it a long enough flash off time, if you want a really good finish out of this and you don't want to worry about solvent popping, just make sure you give it a good flash off time, because if you don't, this O200 can be a bit prone for solvent pop. So on a job like this I'll probably give this 10-15 minutes in between coats, just to give it a really good flash off, so we can try and eliminate that. Setup wise, with MS on this I'm going 2.5 turns out through the IWATA. I have just, while I was doing this job, just started trialing these 3M PPS system. At this point when I did this car I didn't really know what to think, because it was still a bit new to them. They are handy, they do save a bit of gun cleaning time, and for a gun like my IWATA that's 9 days out of 10 just used for clear, then they are handy because they help keep your gun really nice and clean. You've not got any build up around the top of your part or anything like that that's going to give you any bits of dark dust or anything in something like a white paint job like this, because anyone that's done white that's clear over base will know it can be an absolute pain to try and keep these jobs clean when it's base and clear like this. The tiniest little bit of speck of dust in this will show up as being dark and will look a mess on the paint job. So I have to say, using these I think did help a little bit with keeping this job clean, but at the same time I did feel it slowed the gun down a lot. I think the way the 3M PPS system works, you just, I don't know, it doesn't give enough of a flow, because obviously it's constantly pulling that inner liner down, so it does restrict the flow a little bit, which is something that I wasn't really happy with. I did a job with this gun a day or so after, and I threw my pot back on it, and it just absolutely hosed the paint on again. So for something like this white respray, I'd say that it was good. It did give me a lot of benefit, because it meant I could try and keep the job a little bit cleaner. As you can see here now, I can do a really nice quick changeover. Just literally drop a liner out, drop a liner in. It's not going to give it enough time for it to go too dry, so that when I come back to it, it's going to get a wet edge. It's literally undo the collar, liner out, liner in, plug it back in, turn it upside down, and pull the trigger just so it takes the extra air out the liner, and you're going again. So, you know, if you don't want to be in and out your booth as well, you know, I'm not going to open the booth door to go into the mixing room, which could potentially pull dust in. I can just mix a few up, pop one off, pop one on. I know I've not got a pot of paint sat on the side, so none of the overspray is going to land in the pot of paint as dust. And each cup, they have an inbuilt filter in the cups. So rather than me filtering through a paper filter and then having a filter in the gun, I've just got one that's already inbuilt into the cup. So they do have a lot of advantages, but also they're not very, you know, they're not the cheapest thing in the world. You know, I think I can't remember off the top of my head now what a kit price is. I'll add a little caption for that so you can see what a kit price is for these. But I was sent the adapter out and some of these cups just to try, and like you see there on the door, I had to stop because I got back into trying to put it down at sort of like the speed that I'm normally used to with the normal pot. And I think the problem is with these that because it's pulling the liner down, it's creating a vacuum which is restricting your flow. So whether or not I am going to carry on using these in the future is debatable. I think money wise, you know, it's extra cost. At the time when I was looking into these, I thought, yeah, you know, an extra few quid here and there on these pots, it won't make much difference. But bearing in mind I've got to try and change my spraying style a lot, just for the sake of putting a pot on top of it, then I don't really think that I'm going to be going for these again. People have said that SATA do the RPS cups, I think it is. They're also a little bit cheaper, and they do have a cap in the end, so you can alter your flow. So they don't alter the flow, and your guns will still get a full flow, and there's no vacuum with those. But at the same time, you know, you're talking £70 a box for a box of 50, 60 liners. You know, is it worth, on the kind of jobs that we do, to be buying those? I'm not quite sure yet. I'm a bit undecided. I might get some of the SATA ones, give them a try, do a bit of a comparison to which I think feel better, and you know, give my preference on those. But I think, to be fair, I think I'm just going to stick to the normal standard pots for the spray guns. It's been good to try them because I've seen a lot of guys using them, and I've used them before in places, but never on something like this big. It's only been like a single panel or something, which isn't too bad if it slows you down a touch. But you know, when you're talking 2 coats on a full respray like this, you know, it's not that I like to rush the job, but everyone's got their own sort of speed, you know, and past speed and distance that they like, that works for them. And I feel that this stops me from painting the way that I like to paint. Even so, you know, regardless of that, I altered the way that I paint to suit the flow difference that the cups gave me, and we did end up with a really nice, clean, very wet paint job. So, you know, they still serve the purpose. They're just, I can't say that they're a product for me, personally, as a painter. That's nothing against 3M. We use a lot of 3M products. Great firm, do a lot of great products. Just for me, I can't say that I'm a great fan of these PPS cups. So we're into coat 2 now. We'll give this a good 10 to 15 minute flash off with this W400. Like I said before, I have made the mistake once before, on a warm day, of going a bit too quick, because I thought, right, it's tacked off enough, and I went over it a bit too quick and ended up getting solvent popping. So now whenever I use this, I do leave it that little bit longer. Now on the third coat, what I've had to do is wind this out now to about 3 to 3.5 turns, because that vacuum is restricting my flow a lot. So I've wound it right out, and I think I ended up putting the pressure up to about 2.2 bar as well, which just helped it, with that little bit of a flow restriction, and on the paint side, get that little bit more out. And I found that you had to wind the pressure up just to help it push that, you know, almost suck that paint out that little bit better. Again, you know, I think it was the day after this, I painted some parts without the PPS cup, and I dropped it back down to 2.5 turns, 2 bar, just absolutely ran sweet as a nut, as it always does. So, you know, as I've said, PPS system, I'm just going to leave a reserved judgment on that until I try a few other PPS style cups. So, second coat wise, we're going no different to the first coat really. We're just going to give this nice and heavy and nice and wet. It's white, so you want a really good, clean, wet look. White is notoriously difficult, I find, personally, for me to paint. I don't like it too much, just because you, compared to something like black, where you get a reflection on pretty much every edge and every surface, no matter how good or bad your light is in the booth, white can be difficult to see, which is why you'll see me quite a few times on this second coat, just trying to get this extra little bit of an angle like here, just so I can double check that the coverage is right. One thing that I find is, once you find a pass speed and a distance, you have to really strictly try and keep to that same pass speed, the same overlap, and the same distance, and you should be fine. You know, you shouldn't have to worry too much, but being a bit fussy, I do like to go along and double check it, just to make sure as I'm going through the car that I've not got any dry spots, because I don't want to get the second coat down, come to the end of it, and then have to, you know, come back around with a bit of blending thinners or something, because, you know, one area's got a bit of touch of a dry edge, or have to start thinning a bit of lacquer down so I can try and, you know, wet that side back out again. I'd rather just get it first coat, first time, and get it sussed out. So this job actually did come out really nice and clean. When it first came in, you might have seen the part 1, 2 and 3 on this. It had a lot of cellulose paint on it over the years. It's had a lot of touch-ups and a lot of bits and pieces done by different people, which, as a painter, when you come to do it, sometimes makes it a bit of an awkward job to do, because all that stuff underneath can just be aggro, and hours of, you know, digging other people's repairs out, battling against crappy paint that's been used. You know, you got some bits that were in 2-pack, we had some bits that were in base coat and clear, and some bits that were done in cellulose. So that's why we went down the route of giving this thing a real good prime up with 4 heavy coats, a real good block down, and a DA, which meant that we could get this really, try and get this really nice and straight for the budget that the customer got. And I think, to be fair, once this job was done, it's come out really nice. I will probably make a part 5 on this if you guys want to see it, with the panel work and the paint work on that, and try and get a bit of a walk around video of the car when it's finished. If you do want to see that, drop a comment in the box below, and I'll try and get that edited up as soon as I can. As I said, I'll just touch base on job wise. I'm still painting for this shop. I'll still be putting in a good 8-hour days most days at this shop painting for these. And I've also started working now for a prestige paint shop. So I'm hoping that's going to give me a lot more content. I can't video there, but the higher level of skills that I'm going to be learning from there, and obviously their prep style as opposed to the prep style that I'm used to, that I've learnt myself because I'm self-taught. It's going to be a great opportunity for me to push my skills that bit further now, get a bit of learning from guys that have been in the trade for a long time, which is something that I've never had. You know, like I've said before, I'm no perfect painter. You know, I still learn every single day, which is what I love about this job. That is what keeps my passion for this job going, is the fact that there is always something you can learn. Like I said earlier on, I've just bought the Pro Light this week. Cracking gun, love it to bits. Been having a play with that all week and playing around with the settings to see how I can get that going down. And if you follow us on Instagram, you'll see that, you know, first go, second go, third go, I've got it dialed in now, absolutely perfect, and it really suits my style of paint. So what I'm not going to do though is I'm not going to let, obviously, the fact that I'm working 2 jobs affect the channel. I've spent this weekend a lot of time editing up, so I've got plenty of videos now made up front ready, so we can keep the regular upload schedule now. As I said, this week's just been a fresh week, so it's been a bit hard to try and get the time to get back and edit up. I've got a lot of travelling and I've got a lot of hours that I'm working, and I want to make sure that, you know, the videos stay just as good, if not better now. I've got a bit of a broader base now that I can use. As I said, I'm going to be learning new things which I can input into the channel, which is brilliant. You know, I really can't wait for it, to be fair. And I'm going to use the extras that I learned to tweak my processes here as well, so that I can, you know, get better as a painter myself, and push forward more and more and more. Obviously, financially, I'll have a bit extra, so I'll be able to get into a few more bits and pieces with spray guns and with products and materials that you guys want to see. Got a few things, big things in the pipeline soon, and that way we're going to start doing a series of videos with the Lumia light on some custom paint work, some candy work, some metal flake work. Do a bit of a series on a custom panel for you guys, because a few guys have been asking for a bit of metal flake and some candy and some fine line work and that sort of thing. So there is a lot in the pipeline, and like I said, I've got a lot of videos already made up now, so we're going to keep a nice steady upload schedule and keep this channel true to what I made it for, just sharing my work, my passion, and hopefully capturing a few of your guys' attention. A few of you guys have mentioned that you love to watch these videos, which is brilliant. You know, I absolutely love that. Some of the feedback I get back is brilliant, and it keeps me going and it keeps pushing me to want to get better. Spoke to a few people this week who said they watched a few and it's given them some inspiration to get better and get their passion back for the trade, which is great to hear. You know, if I can do that for 1 or 2 people, then, you know, brilliant, absolutely love it. So this is where I'm going to leave this video at the end of this second coat of lacquer. I've included some pictures at the end for you guys, and like I said, I've been busy editing, so there will be another one up in the next day or so, and then we're going to get about 2 to 3 videos a week up. So if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. If you like the video, give it a like. If you've got any questions about anything in this video or anything else that may not be related to this video, give us a comment in the box below, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. And if there's any footage that you guys want to see, or any part of a job that you guys want included, then don't forget, let me know, and we'll edit the videos to suit what you, the viewers, want to see. So thanks again for watching, guys, and I shall see you again soon when we'll go to part 5, where we'll get all the panel work done and then show the final job when this was finished. Thanks again.